I got something crazy to tell you today. Damian Lillard has bad shooting mechanics.
I am shocked. Shocked!
All right, now I suckered you with the intro because Damian Lillard has bad shooting mechanics according to a lot of coaches and how they teach. Now, the thing about Dame is he does 3 things on his jump shot that most coaches say are terrible that you should never do. But the reason why he does them is because they actually work perfectly. So in this particular video, I'm gonna show you exactly what they are and how you can add them to your game. So the very first one is what I call loading low, right? Some coaches call it shooting off a dip, but basically it's just the concept that as you're getting ready to shoot, the ball's gonna load down before it goes up. And so a lot of times we're taught as players that we gotta load the ball up here by our shoulder because it's gonna be faster and we're gonna be able to shoot at a higher level, blah, blah, blah. But if you watch Dame, in pretty much any situation, whether it's off of a drive, he's picking it up low. If it's off of the catch, he's loading it down. And the whole reason is because the ball and the hips, if they move together down in the load, we can begin the upward momentum going in a much more powerful direction. Now, what's funny is I was actually talking to Phil Beckner, shout out Phil, who's Damian Lillard's personal trainer, and he was telling me that this is one of the main things they focus on all the time, is this ball and hip load movement. And you'll even see Damian Lillard doing drills where he's going into a drive and he'll stop and he'll pause and he'll freeze this position right here for just a second, and then he'll load into a shot. Because it's so important that he gets that posture in that position, because that's what starts the whole power train in his jump shot. So number one, think about loading the ball lower just like Dame. You're gonna hit more shots, even if your coach tells you not to. All right, the next bad mechanic that Damian Lillard has is tilting his feet. So you notice on pretty much any shot that Dame shoots, he has his feet tilted slightly off to the left because it gives him better alignment, it allows his elbow to get under, and he actually relieves tension in his upper body for more power, more range. That's why he can shoot by like friggin' half court with ease, right? And so most coaches will tell you, hey, you gotta square to the basket and you need to have 10 toes to the rim. And because of that, you end up having a ton of shoulder power and or a ton of shoulder tension. And if that happens, some bad things have to alleviate it, right? Sometimes people put their elbow out and then that alleviates it. Sometimes they bring it up the offside of their body, then that alleviates it. Sometimes it turns into a push where your shot's really flat, mathematically giving you less likely of a chance to hit it because the target's smaller on the rim. So think about just one simple tweak of your feet tilted to the side, and you're gonna be able to have much more fluidity, much more power, be able to shoot with Dame range with ease. And so the whole thing is, with this, is one little tweak can go a long ways. Now, it doesn't matter for Dame if he's catching off of the pass, let's say it's a swing, he's getting his feet tilted. It doesn't even matter if he's driving to the right and he's doing a hard step back where he can't even get his feet around. In this situation, he'll let his feet twist through and his hips rotate around, so essentially his feet are turning in mid-air. That's how important it is. And so this is one of the secret unlocks, being able to hit an elite level of shots and elite difficulty just like Dame. So think about tilting your feet, because it's gonna help you out a ton. All right, the next thing that Dame does on his jumper that a lot of coaches all over the world I've heard make a huge point of saying that you shouldn't do, and even I've heard actual professional athletes say the same thing, is what we call a palm gap. So Damian Lillard does not have a palm gap, meaning the ball sits right here on his palm rather than being up with some space. Now, a lot of coaches wanna make this sound like it's a huge deal. Like we gotta have a big space in our palm, and they'll say it's for more control, they'll say it's for more rotation or backspin on the ball. And I get in theory why that would make sense, but most of the time it doesn't actually matter. So you notice Dame is a huge palm shooter where the ball rests on his palm, so much so that his back fingers don't even actually touch the ball a lot of the time. So a lot of times his fingers kind of curl off the back here, and there's actually a little bit of a gap that the ball can roll up onto. So think about it like this. The palm gap, I would say, is not something that makes or breaks a shot. It's something that a lot of times is tinkered with when it doesn't actually need to be, right? So if you're in a personal training session and you're a 4th grader or you're a 5th grader or something like that, and the coach is like, hey, I need to see a little gap in that palm, I need to get it up. They probably don't know fully what they're talking about, because of all the things you need to work on first. Let's just hypothetically say that it did help you. That would be one of the last things that you'd want to even think about, right? And most of the time, if you have smaller hands, it's going to be really difficult to have a palm gap and keep control of the basketball. And so essentially, think about your shot for yourself. What feels the most comfortable? What are the small 1 or 2 tweaks that are actually going to get results, rather than just the things that gurus have been saying for 50 years, right? So use your brain when it comes to your shot, be your own shooting coach, and just like Damian Lillard, sometimes it pays to go against the grain or the status quo to essentially kind of do what's best for you, and a lot of times what's best for you is actually correct. Don't forget, if you want to shoot like a pro, you got to train like a pro. So go ahead and hit the link in the description down below. You can get free instant access to the Pro Class Pro shooting pack. This is a shooting workout that's put together by some of the best athletes on the planet, guys like Damian Lillard, Chris Paul, CJ McCollum, just to name a few, and it's gonna help turbocharge your jumper immediately. So go ahead and pick that up because it's 100% free. All right, you know what to do. If this video helped you out, hit the like button. If you're new to Shot Mechanics, hit that subscribe button, ding the bell notifications. We put out videos every single week and they're all gonna get you better. I guarantee it. All right, again, I'm Coach Colin Castello from Shot Mechanics Basketball. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, splash on. Buckets, hey-oh!